Hello there. Boy oh boy, are the distractions coming in hard and fast or what? Oh man. And when I say distraction, I don't mean to belittle anyone's situation or anything that is going on at this point. Lots of things could be labelled as a distraction. Look, the Twin Towers was a distraction. 3,000 people died. You can't belittle that, let alone some of the other horrendous things we know have happened around us or are told have happened around us. Like calling something a distraction or a false flag or whatever, that's not negating it. That's just laying out what it is. Like, it's there to distract you. And something that I'm really feeling is going on in my life, definitely, and seems to be happening with a lot of people around me, is there is a lot of distraction going on around the here and now, 3D life, meat suit reality. How do you want to put that? I don't know. Certainly not the fluffy unicorns and light worker business. Not that. That's not what's distracting at the moment. It's real world stuff. It's work. It's houses. It's relationships. It's bank accounts. And it's not something that can be ignored. That's the really interesting thing. Like you really can't just say, well, all right, this is all very well, but I'm an expanded being. I'm already in the 7th dimension. I'm just going to rise above this, and I'm not going to have to pay any attention to it. Well, it's really coming home at the moment that you kind of have to pay attention to it to some degree. Like if you ignore it, it's just going to get louder. This stuff is not going to go away, whatever it is. I mean, for some people it's health, and horrendous health at that, pain, and not good stuff at all, just getting worse and worse and worse. And I mean, you literally can't ignore it. That's not a letter from the bank. That's not your local council. That's not a family member or a loved one getting a twist in their tail and having a go at you. That's like, it's in your body, and it's pretty serious. So, what to do about this? How to handle all of this? That's the question that we want to be looking at. Because it's still external, and it's still probably getting projected through you, which is to say by you, but I'm not saying it's your fault, because it's not how it works. But definitely there's a pretty good chance it's coming through you, and it's almost like this is the masterclass. Like, we're getting shown the deeper levels of our distortions that we either thought we dealt with, or we had dealt with, well and truly, and they've come back around for round 3, or that we weren't even aware of, perhaps. But however that is, it's coming up to be dealt with, or it's coming up to get your attention, or it's like whatever. I can't put it's not putting words in things' mouths, but you know what I mean. I can't label an intention on something when I have no idea what it is, and I do have no idea what the intention is around this. But it's not to teach you a lesson. It's not to dig down into the depths and work out those last pieces. I don't think it may have that effect, and that might be a silver lining on what's going on. But whether it's engineered like that or not, I mean, I can't say. Who knows? What I can say is, from my experience, you're not going to get out of the situation. You're not going to deal with the problem once and for all by ignoring it and just picturing yourself in a better place. That's not going to work. It's this stuff is three-dimensional. It's material. It's there, and it's pressing on us all, some way or another. You're not going to unicorn and rainbow your way out of this, most likely. And if you are, you're probably not watching what I'm saying now, because you're not at the level of anyone who's getting affected by this. The flip side of that is you're probably not going to deal with it by being very materialistic and just dealing with it, like your school teacher told you should have back in 9th grade, or whatever, your parents, your grandparents, to just enough with the airy-fairy and the energy stuff, and would you just focus on what needs doing and just do it and just get it done like everyone else around you. No one else around you is struggling. Everyone else is fine. It's only you woo-woo energy people that are getting affected by solar flares and stuff. Everyone else is just going to work like normal. What's wrong with you? Yeah? Because once you know, you can't unknow. If you don't know, you get a bit of a free pass. And they might not even be playing in the system we're playing in. There are levels in here. Isn't that a meme, a throwback from something else? There are levels to this shit. Most definitely. So you know some of the mechanics now, so you're not going to get let off the hook. You're going to have to deal with this stuff, but if you deal with it in a mechanistic, materialistic, switch your intuition and your empathy and your inquisitive mind and your heart off and be very logical and just get it done, it's going to pop up again and again and again and again. And if you be very empathetic and very in your heart and turn off logic altogether and ignore it, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay there and stay there and stay there and stay there until you do something about it. So probably the way to approach this would be a hybrid system. You are going to want to picture the outcome that you want. You are going to want to feel that you're already basking in the glory of the outcome, already come to pass. As you very mechanistically and mechanically go through the motions of doing whatever absolutely painful effing thing this reality is banging you on the head about to do. So we're looking at a hybrid system of going in and doing the material thing as if, like, of course the floor needs vacuuming. You're not going to Harry Potter it with your wand and just, the floor's clean again. No. You will need to vacuum the floor. You are going to have to make that phone call to that company that you're dreading. You are going to have to do that thing with the bank account. You are going to have to do that thing at work. You are going to have that conversation with that family member. Whatever it is, you are going to have to deal with the thing in your rental house that you've been avoiding, or the garden, or the whatever. You are going to have to very mechanically and mechanistically deal with the illness that's causing you pain. But it's all about the standpoint that you deal with it from. Are you going to deal with it from the 3D mechanistic, this is all there is standpoint, or are you going to deal with it from the, I can actually read energy and I know the mechanics of this place and I know what's going on. And I'm actually going to picture that it's done, and it's done in the most perfect way. So it's dual pointed awareness. It's when I get people in session and we start off and we do the breathing, the microcosmic orbit, up the spine and down the front, from the pelvis up to the top of the head and down. And then we drop it into the whole body, soles of the feet up and down, and then sometimes we go into a root system beneath the feet and branches above the head. Like you're a big tree, you're just pushing right out into your energy body, like as far out as your energy body wants to expand. How far out can it go? And you're not even pushing, you're just allowing it. If you're pushing, that means something's pushing back. Who wants that? We don't need that. You're just going to allow it to go as far as it can, because if you let the dog off the lead and let it run, like it might actually run 5 times faster than you could push it to run on the lead, running alongside your bike, almost dragging it on the lead alongside your bike. Unclip the lead and watch it go. Allow it. Stop pushing and allow it. Allow this breathing. See how far it goes. And then it's like if you are going to look at it, like observe it, all of a sudden you've bilocated. You've got dual pointed awareness. Because you are absolutely sitting in your body. You are more embodied than you have been in who knows how long. There you are, in your body, listening to me prattle on Zoom or a phone call or something. But you're also at the soles of your feet, or maybe way down in this root system at the end of every out-breath. And you're up at the top of the tree branches or at the top of your head at the end of every in-breath. But you haven't left the body, you haven't gone anywhere, you're still here. So you're looking at 2 TV screens at once, somehow. And you're actually in both those places at once. Very, very mild bilocation. And you can practice this with your breath at any time. So good to practice it with your breath in the body, because you haven't left the body. Like, we're not talking about the root system, the branches, or you are just down in your left foot, and you're going to use the out breath to drop yourself down in there. And you're just going to hang out in your left foot like you imagine you hanging out behind your eyes and in between your ears at this moment. But while you're down there in your left foot, you're also listening to me talk in this moment, in your ear. So where are you? Well, obviously you're in both places at once. And whether you're going to view that as, well, I've bilocated into 2 places at once, or I'm such an expanded being that my being actually encompasses both those places at once, both those things are true. It's just whichever one floats your boat. So can you hold a dual-pointed awareness, or a super expanded awareness around doing this damned thing that you have to do, this challenge that seems to be in front of you that's just tripping you over constantly? Can you slog through the thing? You know how to do it, it's just painful, and you've done it so many times, like, why is this coming up again? Can you slog through that all the while you're already sitting on the beach with the cocktail? Job done. Can you hold an awareness where you're in those 2 places at once? And like, while you're doing the thing that you're dreading, because what's coming up for people are things that they're dreading. You know, you dread having to deal with people on the phone, strangers on the phone, and personal contact. Great. You've got to call your rental agency, you've got to call the tax people, you've got to call the registration people, you've got to call your mother, who might as well be a stranger. You've got to call these people on the phone, like basically cold call them. And you're putting it off, but now you're getting letters, and now you know, or whatever it is. You know, you've got some issues with being in the body. Great. Here's a heaping helping of pain. So much pain you can't escape the body. It's like we're getting dragged, kicking and screaming to the place that we can't handle, that we don't want. And so it's like, can you go do the push-ups? Can you go through the motions that you need to get it done? Because you know how to get it done, or you know how to ask your highest self to help to get it done. But can you already be over the finish line? Can you actually hold in your body the feeling that it's already done? You know, the reality just hasn't caught up with you yet. But this is already sorted. Because it feels to me like the reason we're not there yet is because we can't hold the frequency of being there. We're not there yet because we're not there. So can we maybe get ourselves there a little bit more? All right. Much love.